Yes, welcome to the High Grade Radio Podcast with your hosts, Nick Harpson and Hayden Ranks.
But shit, man, you guys just released a new single that I love, and it's titled Friday Night. Why don't you talk a little bit about that right now real quick?
So this, actually, I'm really like pleased with this song. In our opinion, it's like it's one of our best tracks. But Miles, actually, me and him were working on this song and like first started writing it maybe like 4 years ago.
Oh, wow.
We used to, me and Miles used to work together, and we were caretakers for mentally and physically challenged people.
That's what's up.
And we ended up working on the same shift and being graveyards together and stuff like that. And so it was just me and him. So we'd bring and everyone was asleep. So we'd bring our acoustic guitars and we just kind of like write and jam in the living room. And that, like he wrote the first verse, and then it just kind of got lost in space. Like other songs got written and that just got put to the wayside. And we used to have a habit of like when we were trying to record stuff to like remember, we didn't have like a laptop or anything like that. So what I would do is I would record like a voice memo of like him playing on my phone, right? And then he would record a voice memo on his phone of my voice memo plus whatever lead he was doing over it. Like we would just layer these memos and just have our phones playing. And then so every now and again we'll go back through those really old like just like tapes or whatever, and we pulled Friday Night out, and we're just like, dang, we forgot about this song. We should try and mess with it. And we had just started talking with Gary Larson over there at Big G Productions.
Nice.
And his stuff is great. He does amazing tracks with people. So we were talking to him, and we were seeing like, let's send him like a track to see if we could like, work with him. And we just picked Friday Night because we were just like, just pick a track that we haven't like really, let's just work on one and blend. We sent it, and man, he killed that. He mashed that track all up for us. So we were pretty excited because when we wrote it, it's a song about partying and being out all night and just like, having a good time. And 4 years ago, I was probably 25, Miles 24, 23, something like that. And so, that was the time we were out all night just partying all the time. Like,
I think
ridiculous.
I met you guys because when I came through the first time, we partied all night. You guys definitely live up to the lyrics in that single for sure.
That is definitely something that we get told by a lot of bands that come through and don't have to leave immediately after their set.
Yeah.
We hang out with them and stuff. They're like, yeah, you guys are nuts out here. Well, we like to have fun. We're just a town in the middle of the desert, so when stuff comes through, we like to have as much fun as we can. But we're excited. We're pumped with the songs. But it really just came out of just partying a lot back in the day and needing a track to work on to send. And now we're probably gonna do our next EP with Big G Productions because we're super happy with like. He was really easy to work with, and he's just a great producer. So we're stoked to do our whole next EP with him.
Sick. Yeah, no, I think the song sounds great. He did a great job. On the quality, everything. But once again, a great song that you guys wrote, and I love it. When it came out on that Friday, dude, I was jamming all Friday night to it. So,
oh man,
thank you. I'm still rocking it, and we're gonna rock it right now for the people who haven't heard it and for the people who have. But this one is called Friday Night, and it's by the Riddims, and it goes like this.
worries away and we feel alright. The party's always jumping, we got music in the air. All the ladies look so fucking good, I'm trying not to stare. Love the feeling that I get when drinking with my friends, killing bottles of Patron, I hope this night will never end. Crickets on the patio, always rolling up a spliff so we can light it up and smoke it while I'm jamming this riff. So pour yourself a drink and take a rip from the bomb. We could party all night while we're singing this song. It's Friday night and we go to the morning light. It's Friday night and we go to the morning light. We get the good vibes going any city we're in, so turn the radio up, cause it's time to begin. And when the bass is bumping, people are jumping, everybody's waiting on a good time. We got places to stay, from the mountains to the bay. Tell the California family that we're headed their way. With the music and friends, you know the love never ends. Another week of working hard until we do it again. It's Friday night and we go to the morning light. It's Friday night and we go to the morning light. Yeah. It's Friday night and we go to the morning light. It's Friday night and we go to the morning light.
Yes, that was the Riddims with Friday Night, brand new single, y'all. Go get it, buy it, stream it a million times if you're just gonna stream it. I love the lyric video. We were kind of talking about that while we were listening to the song, and you said Petey had made that all on his iPhone.
Yeah, he used iMovie, and he just asked all of us to send different like Snapchat clips and photos and things like that over the years. Just send it to him, and we were just like, okay, like I didn't really know at first why, and I was just like, all right, I figure you're doing something for the band, so here you go. We sent it. We all like pitched in and sent a bunch of stuff, and yeah, one day he just sent us that back, and he was like, here, I made this lyric video. And we're just like, dope.
Dude, and those organic videos are like awesome because you get like,
Right?
you know, it's not staged, nothing. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, just all these clips of just, oh man, I watch it every now and again, the lyric video, like at least once a day, and it's cool to like think like, you know, especially now in this time where there's no shows, can't do nothing, and especially like you just feel like you're not being productive, or that like times are hard or whatever. But when I look at like that video, it like reminds me like, dang, life has been pretty sweet. Like the last like, you know, 7 years or so, it's been pretty badass. So, you know, can't enjoy the sunshine without a little rain. So we'll just get through this weird point in time.
Yeah, man, definitely. And in that video, like the clips that you're talking about, I know a lot of them are from tours and whatnot. And right before this quarantine thing happened, you guys just signed with a label that was putting you out on the road quite often, actually. And what's it like being on the road with the guys?
being on the road with the guys. Well, real quick, so we technically didn't sign with a label.
Okay.
We started working with Providence Music Group, and they're just our like a booking agent basically.
Okay.
We started working with a booking agency. A label would be nice though for sure. It was going on tour with the guys though is awesome. You know, me and Miles have talked about touring together since we were in high school.
Right.
And just like all the antics, and you know, we're just all a bunch of practical jokers, and you know, sometimes I'm usually the one that crosses the line, and like there's always a point on tour where at least 75% of the band is pissed off at me for like a day or like a few hours because I'm like you know it's whatever, and it's usually never Miles that's mad because he's, you know, we've been homies for like almost 15 years. He already knows how I am, so he doesn't give a crap. But it's a lot of fun most of the time. Like a lot of the guys are sleeping, and it's either me and Miles in the driver's seat and passenger seat, or me and Chris, or sometimes when Miles and Chris need sleep, it's me and Peter. But PD tends to, like, you know, sometimes you'll look over at him, and with the trailer and everything, he's doing like 80, and I have to be like, dude, he's gonna kill all of us. It's like 3 a.m, and he's just like drinking Monster and doing like 80 miles an hour. Or it's like, I think you should slow down, man. Like we're not. But
yeah, my bad.
I don't know. I was just say usually I'm the co-pilot. Like no one ever sits in the passenger seat, especially on those overnight drives. I'm like the only one that manages to just stay awake with the driver. And like even with glasses, my sight is shit. So like we don't want to trust me at night.
Co-pilot though is always necessary. You need that.
Oh yeah. I'm navigating and the DJ, keeping people with snacks and drinks and whatever they need.
Yeah, man. I remember meeting up with you guys in Las Vegas, and you said that you and Petey had pulled an all-nighter, like drove 12 hours to get there or whatever.
Yeah, that was one of the nights that Petey, I was looked over at him and he was doing 80 miles an hour in the middle of the night. Like,
yeah, he said, he was like, I just got to get there, man. I'm like,
yeah, he was just, we were like, dude, we could pull over and just like sleep for an hour or two. We got like time, you know, like he was like, no, we're just going to get there. We'll sleep when we get there. I'm fine. So just like, all right, let's, you know, stopping at every other gas station to grab some energy drinks and stuff. And
for sure. Well, man,
no, tour's awesome. Everyone has thrown up out of the van, at least for the most part. Kevin made it. He threw up on the step. He didn't make it all the way out of the van, but I know that Kevin has. I threw up out the van, and so did I don't know if PD has or Miles, but I know me, Kevin, and Chris have yacked.
While it's moving?
Kevin and Chris, no. Me, yes.
Nice.
I forgot I think it was our second tour, and we were in Long Beach. And we linked up with Idle Vibes and the late ones. The late ones didn't play, but they just came through because they're the homies, so they came and watched. And then we all went to after the show. We went to I think it was Kennedy's house, or a family member of his, or just someone that he knew. But I knew Kennedy was the one who hooked it up. And shout out to Kennedy and Idle Vibes, because those guys, they gave us our first tour. They're the shit. But those dudes. So we were just kind of hanging out in the backyard, jamming, drinking like tons of beer, you know, everyone's just drinking and stuff. And then I don't know, it gets to be like 4 a.m. We're about to leave and go stay. I don't remember where we were staying at the time, but just go back to where we were gonna sleep. And I just started feeling it. I was in the passenger seat and I was driving and I was just sitting there and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna puke. Like, this is gonna happen, you know? And I rolled down the window, and right as Miles is going through an intersection, turning left, you know, through the whole intersection, I'm just throwing out like the passenger window as we're turning left, and all these cars have their lights like on us, and they're just like looking. It's so funny, and I'm just like, and apparently I'm very loud when I throw up, but they said I was like yakking super loud. Like they were just like, dude, it was so loud, like but I was just like in this intersection, just chunking my brains out. It was really funny. It's probably honestly one of my favorite memories of tour.
Bro, I'm gonna add to this memory of tour. I know you were crunk that night. We played that show with you that night and partied with you at that after party. We were there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That was a hella good time though.
I remember Kennedy, like, while they were playing, he went off stage and threw up in the bathroom because he had partied a little hard, and then went back up on stage and just kept like singing like nothing even happened. He just walked off the stage, didn't say shit. The band kept playing, and he went in the bathroom and threw up, and then like came back.
Oh yeah, no, we had a good time that night for sure, man. That was a memorable one.
When we linked up at that pizza spot was also a really good night. I forget what it's called.
At
yeah.
Man, what was the name of that venue? That was a dope one too, though, with iTel Vibes as well. And
that was the first time that I figured out that liquor stores in California stay open until 2. Because in New Mexico they close at midnight.
Oh, for real?
And that's actually that's even false. So gas stations and like grocery stores and stuff that sell alcohol and liquor, they stop selling that stuff at midnight. But like there's like liquor stores, like I think there's Cali's Liquor out here or whatever. There's a few liquor stores that just close up at like 9.
Dude, I remember this the first time we came to play in Albuquerque. You're like, if you want beer or liquor, you got to go now. I was like,
yeah, go get it. Like, I remember that night to me and Chris, we ran, there was a liquor store like right next to that pizza spot.
Yep.
And we ran in there. It was like 11:58. Me and Chris ran in there. We got in. We're like, oh, we're just like, what are we gonna get? And the guy's like, we're open for another 2 hours, right? And we're like, really? And then we had to explain that we were from New Mexico. And we're like, man, we thought we only had 2 minutes to buy like this alcohol.
Dude, yeah, it's different from state to state. Have you played in Utah yet?
No.
All right. If you get there, I mean, get your alcohol right away. They have some strict alcohol laws there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's expensive. Like they have limit to how much you can get to. It's crazy, man.
There's a couple like, because we got a lot of reservations in New Mexico.
Yeah.
So there's a few reservations out here that are dry reservations. Like they're like liquor is banned. Like you can't. They don't. Or I don't know if it's banned. I don't know if you get caught with it. I don't know if you get in trouble. But they don't sell it on the res in some reservations in New Mexico. So like we every summer, probably not this summer, but past few years, we get booked to play this little music festival in Dulce, New Mexico, up north, called Reggae on the Res.
Yeah.
And they always tell us, they're like, hey, if you guys want to drink and stuff, make sure to bring like your own shit because like we're dry. They have like casinos and everything. They don't serve alcohol in the casino.
Oh, wow.
Like, and nothing. Yeah. And I'm like, how do you expect people to lose so much money if they're not drunk?
Right. Nah, man, Reggae on the Res. I've heard about that a few years. What's that like playing on the reservation? Because I know they bring they brought the green. You guys.
Yeah,
they bring
that was super cool. Well, I know when they brought the green was super badass. The venue it's kind of small. I mean, it's not. You know how these festivals when they start, like I think Reggae. I think this last year when we played, it was probably only like the 3rd or 4th year that they had it. And so it hasn't gotten like a really big yet, but every year I've noticed there's like more and more people. But last year was super cool with the green because we met the green probably like our first year in doing the band. Like they were just at Launchpad. I think they had them and Through the Roots for touring, and for some reason only Through the Roots was playing at Launchpad and the green wasn't. So they were just like there hanging out.
That's weird.
Yeah, I was just like, I didn't know why, but at the time I'd come up on like a half ounce of wax, and so I wasn't at the show, but Miles was, and he called me. He's like, dude, the green is over here. They want to smoke wax. Come over here right now. And I was actually, I think at the time I was getting ready to like go to my girlfriend's house at the time, and I remember just like calling her and being like, hey, I'm not coming over anymore. Like I'm gonna go hang out with the green. And she was pretty mad at me about that. But it was cool, man. It like honestly one of the best times I had. We were hanging out at Launchpad with the green for a bit, and then they asked for a ride back to their hotel, and their tour bus was there. We just went on their tour bus, and they had this huge cake that I guess they like eat. They like have an end of tour cake all the time.
Okay.
And they had one of those like electric rigs that's just like always stays hot, So we were just there. I think we probably between us, I think it was just me, Miles, and Petey, I think that went. And the rest of the green. And between us, I think we smoked like 3 grams of wax, just like passing this rig around. And after a while, they just like broke out this big ass cake and handed everyone a plastic fork. And we were just passing around this cake and this rig, and everyone's just like taking bites of cake, just like passing it, just like getting super stoned. It was awesome. And like the green told us that was the biggest blaze sesh they've ever had in their tour bus. So we're just like, and Caleb, the singer for the green, was actually the one that gave us the nickname the Riddim Boys.
Really? That's what's up.
Yeah, he kept saying it with like the Hawaiian, that island accent, and he just kept saying it, and it kind of just stuck. So we use that for like everything now.
That's sick, dude. That's a good ass story right there. That's what I'm sure you're gonna remember forever.
Oh,
But,
dude, all the time. Yeah.